Visionary leadership is transformative, and we could argue that it is really just one aspect of transformational leadership, but I want to look at it on its own, because it seems to me there are many leaders who seem to aim for this style of leadership as their ideal. If you want to create change, you need to know your destination. If you want people to follow you, you will need a vision of where you're going. Visionary leaders can inspire their followers to contribute to their long-term goal. They can draw their team towards their destination with a mixture of inspiration and collaboration. And to maintain motivation and commitment, visionary leaders also need to identify, to create, to maintain and to evolve an organisational culture. It needs to be a culture that fosters pride, commitment and performance. To understand visionary leadership, we first need to understand what is a vision. A vision is an inspiring statement that creates meaning and purpose in a sensory, visceral, dare I say it, visionary way. To be a vision, I think a statement needs to conjure up images in the minds of the people who hear it or read it. So, to create a vision, a leader must tell a compelling story using language and metaphor that conjures up images in the minds of their audience. The story must have movement from where you are to where you aspire to be. Move the mind to move the heart, and move the heart to move the body. The leader must focus on the details that matter and leave the rest for later discovery. And they must link their story to the things that matter most to their listeners. They must make their message vividly memorable with enough power to sustain their followers' commitment through the tough times. So they must deliver their story with passion and commitment. And, critically, they must live the values that are inherent in their vision. So, with all that, what are the qualities and the skills that are necessary for good visionary leadership? First, I think they need to be oriented towards innovation, change and transformation. They need to be forward-thinking. For that, they need imagination, creativity, but also strategic thinking. They need to be skilled communicators, enthusiastic and optimistic. They need to create inspiration and engagement. They need to foster collaboration and creative problem solving. But they also need to be risk aware, but with a willingness to take controlled risks. And finally, in terms of personal qualities, they need self-control and resilience. But I would argue that visionary leadership on its own is not a sustainable leadership style. We need to combine it with others, because there are shortcomings to visionary leadership. Visionary leaders have a strong orientation towards an end goal that can hamper progress. Their future focus can blind them to the realities of the present, and a single focus can overcome the important flexibility and agility that will enable them to adapt to new circumstances. Their relentless optimism can close them off from properly seeing the real issues. And in times of trouble, over-optimism can alienate and worry their teams. And finally, as big picture people, visionary leaders will often be reluctant to get into the details, and sometimes the details that are critical for resolving the problem at hand. As businesses and public bodies become ever more complex, there are some who would argue that the need for visionary leadership that can cut through the technical details is becoming more and more important. However, I would argue that this kind of visionary leadership does need to be backed by real substance. A visionary leader without technical credibility will soon run out of authenticity. And without that, a visionary leader will struggle to win trust for their vision, no matter how compelling it appears. And without the ability to win trust for their vision, what is a visionary leader? Please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it or learned from it. I'll be creating loads more great management courses videos for you, so please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss any of them. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.